Hello guys, welcome back to Bradster Vlogs. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a while, I was taking a break. And there'll be another Lego video being released tomorrow. There'll be a new Lego video on a set I got off of eBay. But I don't want to give any spoilers. Today in this video we're going to be doing a video about what if the UK regained its old borders. Like they regained their empire as they had in the early 1900s. Let's see how that would work. Let me just erase the borders here. Might take a minute, but I mean, it'll be worth it. Here we go. Kenya. They didn't have Tanzania. But they have Zambia and Malawi. Oops. But they had Zimbabwe. They had Zimbabwe. They had all of Botswana and South Africa. They also had all of Lesotho and Swaziland, or nowadays they call it Eswatini. I still like to call it Swaziland. That's just always how I said it. And the British Empire had all of these lands right here, plus a lot more, which I will draw in now. But they did have quite a bit of land. Even in Asia, they had a lot of land. Look at all this. Don't mind that noise in the background. Sorry if you hear me humming. I've been watching Phineas and Ferb the last few weeks. Stuck in my head. Yeah, I like Phineas and Ferb. And I'm watching on Disney Plus the last few days. I have the theme song stuck in my head. Oof. It's a really good song, but I mean, it gets stuck in your head. Look at this. And boom. That is the lands of Britain in, I think, like 1912, 1914, or whatever. Let me, everything, I'm gonna get like a brown or something. I feel like actually the brush should be red. Let's just make them red. Just so they look nice and they can stand out. They had the island of Britain, they had Ireland, Belize, and just for fun, I'm gonna give them their modern borders as well. The Bahamas, Bermuda. Oh my gosh, that's not what I meant. I'll just have to color them in myself. Okay. Boom. They're British. They're British now. They also have, nowadays they also have the Falklands. The Falkland Islands off the coast of South America. And then they have South Georgia. I would draw in all the other stuff down there, but I mean, there's not really any of that stuff on this map. So they also had all of the Maldives to themselves. They had the Maldives. Which was actually pretty crazy. Now they have the Maldives. I mean, it isn't really a bit crazy, but I mean, like, yeah. And then Sri Lanka, the whole Indian subcontinent, also known as, or AKA, British Raj, is what they called it. Then they had Papua New Guinea, Australia, and New Zealand. They also had some other island territories like the Solomon Islands and all these other ones, but I mean, I'm not really going to draw that in because that would take forever. They also had Hong Kong. And this whole African area to themselves. They also had Nigeria, Ghana. They had quite a lot of land. I think they had Burkina Faso. I can't remember. I'll just give it to them anyway. I think they had that. Okay. There we go. This is what the world would look like if the British Empire decided to unite to this day. Oh, oopsie. Forgot Guyana. This is what the British Empire would look like if it reunited to this day and still had all the colonies that Britain has to this day. Oh yeah, they also have Fiji. Okay. And also, let's after this, I'm gonna see what would happen if the British had all of this power. I would see what would happen. Actually, they also had a few other places: Cyprus, Qatar, UAE. There we go. Now I'm done. Oh, they had a lot of land in 1914. They had a lot of land, so it took a while to draw it all in. And that's really it. That's a map of the British Empire. Okay. Now, let's see what their first move would probably be. Their first move would probably be uniting the Nigerian and the Central African, these little Central African African provinces that touch the coast. They'd probably unite them all like this. In this scenario, they'd already be united with borders, but I mean, like, Britain wants them to be united, like Nigeria touching this Ghana, Burkina Faso area. So what they have to do is take up Benin and Togo. After they hear this, they both immediately surrender, because they don't want to have to fight the British Empire, because they know they would lose. So they both immediately surrender. Yeah, as soon as the first gun was shot, as soon as the first fire was shot, they both surrendered. Now there was no hope. But then they wanted to connect Egypt to South Africa, and what they had to do was take out Tanzania to do that. So now they're going to take out Tanzania, which Tanzania was a little bit more confident than Togo or Benin. But as the British Empire came in from the north and the south, taking them out, it was really hopeless for Tanzania. It was really hopeless for Tanzania, so they surrendered. And for this, I'm not gonna draw like Victoria ends, so let's just leave it like that. Yeah, as they quickly then surrender to the British Empire, making their land theirs. And Burundi feared of being taken over by the British, siding with Britain and becoming part of the empire. Their next thing they wanted to take out was Mozambique, considering they were right in the middle of the empire. The first thing they did was take out their upper peninsulas, so there was no way they could get in the north. But soon they had taken out the entire south of Mozambique, taking their capital, making them surrender. So now they'd taken down all of that, and really most African countries were pretty scared. Well, except for Algeria, because I don't know, Algeria was strong, was not afraid, because they're like literally one of the strongest countries in. I guess. Also, I bet Liberia wouldn't be scared in this scenario because they have the U.S. on their side. So if they got taken over, the U.S. would be involved. The first thing they wanted was the peninsulas of Namibia and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, or the DRC. Like, just their name is a tongue twister. Just to say. Like, literally, their name is a tongue twister. And now, what Britain wanted, what Britain got. And they took out both peninsulas, making their borders even and clean. And now that that has happened, they really wanted to connect all of their African colonies. What they wanted to do was destroy Chad and Cameroon. They didn't want to destroy Cameroon, they just wanted to take their upper peninsula, which already is really weird anyway, so. And they're not going to take all of Chad. They're going to be reasonable, and they're just going to take South Chad. I know that's where the capital is, but I mean, yeah. And after that, Britain gained that land. Not very many countries are really fighting back because Britain's army is so powerful they couldn't fight back. Literally. Britain's army is so strong they wouldn't be able to fight back since they have all of India under their control. They have some of those populous countries under their control. Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and then Egypt, Nigeria. I think the UAE has a lot. So they're basically almost invincible. Not invincible, I mean, like, if all the major powers teamed up, they probably wouldn't be able to take them out. Like, if just one major power, like China, tried to take them out, they probably could, like, take out half the country, but I mean, really, I really don't feel like, really, China's not really gonna try to do that. But if like China, Russia, France, Spain, Portugal, and Germany tried to go against the UK, they would probably be destroyed. But the UK's next idea was taking over all of Papua. And Britain took out the Indonesian side, making Papua one territory under the British rule. Since Canada is also part of the British realm, being their queen being Queen Elizabeth, they joined Britain and became part of the British Empire. The United States was kind of worried about this, considering Canada one of the most valuable allies just went to the United Kingdom. Even though the United Kingdom is the US's ally now, it wasn't in 1912. I mean, this isn't in 1912. But I mean, like, when they were the British Empire, they were not allies at all. So that wouldn't have been good back then. But now, Canada is completely part of the British Empire. And what Britain did next was they took out Guatemala. So their territories in Central America and the Caribbean grow. I would have said Jamaica was theirs, but I mean, Jamaica's not even on this map. I don't know why Jamaica and Hawaii aren't even on the map. Like, Hawaii would have been here or here somewhere. Here or here somewhere. But I mean, they're just not even here. I don't know why Jamaica isn't even here. It's like one of the biggest islands of the Caribbean. How could you miss it? They put all these little islands, but they forgot to put Jamaica. I think it's like the 4th biggest island in the Caribbean or something. I don't really know. I really don't know too much about the Caribbean. I don't really know that much about country size, but I mean, yeah. Next thing Britain wanted was to take out all of Saudi Arabia. Not all of Saudi Arabia, but a part of it. They hatched a plan where they would take out this entire chunk of Saudi Arabia so they could connect Qatar to the UAE. Their plan went into action as Britain took over that land and claimed it part of British sovereign territory, which is good for Britain but bad for the rest of the world. That has happened. Britain's next target was Iceland. Iceland has a lot of good fishing routes and they wanted to take it over. But actually they had 2 next targets. Their next 2 targets were Greenland and Iceland. They had good fishing routes and they were so close to the Canadian and British areas of the British Empire, but since not very many people live in Greenland and Iceland, were easily taken over and now are part of the British Empire. And the US was tired of it. Was tired of the British Empire taking over the world. And the US made an alliance. This will be shown in aqua. I think actually aqua is a nice color in paint. And the next country that was joining was France. And then Spain, Portugal, then Germany, and Italy. And they made an alliance so they could. And then the next country to join was Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. Luxembourg didn't join, but yeah. Next country was to join, that was Liberia. And the next country to join the alliance was Saudi Arabia because Britain had already taken out some of their land, along with Indonesia, to stop Britain from taking out the rest of their land. Since other countries that bordered those countries were scared, like Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, and East Timor, were scared of being taken over, they also joined the alliance. Next country to join was Japan. Japan then joined this alliance they had. And next, South Korea, and then Taiwan. Then the Philippines. Now that happened, there was actually something to protect the world. The next and final country for now to join was Turkey. Joined since they're also part of NATO and have close relations and ties with the United States. The first thing the United States wanted to do was try to to take out Canada and Greenland, so they'll actually have an advantage here. Actually, there was 2 more countries that joined the alliance after this. Mexico and Panama also joined this alliance along with Argentina, because Argentina was mad at Britain and wanted revenge for making the Falklands and South Georgia part of their sovereign territory. And after that, now they actually had a good alliance. Then French Guiana joined. Since they are part of France, they would really be required to join. Then Cuba joined. So the US and Cuba could actually be working together on this. And there was only one more country that joined, for now at least. The last country to join for now was, surprisingly, Switzerland. Which doesn't make any sense since Switzerland's a neutral country, but I'm not really going to acknowledge that in this video. This video is already 21 minutes long, so I'm sorry if this is so long. There's 2 more countries that actually there's 3 more countries that joined for now. I promise that's the last ones. Chad, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Namibia. Those are the last 2 for now. And now that has happened, all of these countries actually could defend. But after Britain found out about this alliance, they quickly took action, taking out Chad, quickly swiping Chad away from the alliance to Britain. And Britain had become kind of obsessed with taking over. They kind of became obsessed. And now they started their own alliance. The alliance of taking over. I know it's a terrible name, but I mean, I'm not really good at thinking of names. The countries that joined this alliance were Britain and somehow North Korea. For some reason, North Korea joined this alliance, but it was actually a trap from Britain, and Britain took over North Korea. It was actually a trap, so then no one else joined this alliance. But Britain's next target was Nepal and Bhutan, for being really close to Britain, wanting to take them over. And they had another target, Macau in southern China. And now Britain had taken over Nepal, most of Nepal at this point, and Bhutan, with both countries surrendering to Britain. Bhutan barely had any territory left, so basically they were already almost gone. But the last few places that were part of it, surrendered. Now that has happened, there was not very much Britain could take over. I mean, there was not a lot, but I mean, a lot of places was guarded by this new alliance. But soon, Britain had taken out Angola, making it really difficult, because Angola was a neutral ground right before that for the DRC and Namibia to actually help each other out with their army, but now they couldn't. So all soldiers that had swapped to help each other were now stranded in whatever country they went to. But after the fall of Angola, their little exclave to the north was given to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which is actually called Kambinda or something. I'm sorry if I didn't say that right. I really don't know. Try to pronounce it. I really don't know how to pronounce it. It was something. So, yeah. Now that that had happened, most countries were really scared and started leaving the alliance. The first ones to leave were the DRC and Namibia. It became part of Britain. At this point, they had become British. And were now Britain. Britain had ruled over their lands. And now Britain's winning. But then trouble struck. During all of those areas, a lot of the world's all back to normal. And that is the end of our story, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bradster out.